Alright boys, so over the past 2025, I've had a pretty successful year with my AI agency. We've scaled to over 100k per month and we are now operating with a team of 10 people. And I know a lot of you people have gotten into this space and are kind of confused as to where you think it may go. Is it getting oversaturated and where things are? So in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 paths that I see AI wealth going to in 2026, how you can start from absolutely no code, and what my agency is heavily investing in as we go into the new year. So firstly, let's jump in straight away. Over here you can see we have voice arbitrage, and this basically means voice AI. So the stuff that you've probably seen on YouTube or wherever you get your content, we have Vapi, we have retail, etc. And that's kind of like AI acting as an assistant or a receptionist for a business, and it's going to pick up the phone, answer calls for them. That's the first one in which we're going to get into in this video. AI talk, we're going to resell, we're going to use Grok and Gemini. They're new models that have just came out within the past couple of weeks, which is the reason why this is number 1 on the list, is because it's significantly getting better and it's really underrated. There's absolutely nobody in this space, but maybe a handful of people who are actually delivering production ready AI voice agents. And to me, it's the most untapped market in the AI space. Also over here, we have the micro SaaS. Now this is kind of like your N8N workflows, except we're using stuff like Lovable and Gemini to build dashboards around them to essentially turn it into a SaaS, but it still has that custom aspect to where we build the workflows for the customer. So that's going to be number 2, in which we are really heavily invested into right now, and we'll explain more in this video. And then we have number 3, which is the infinite media. Unbelievable scale for this. You can turn one product photo into 100 video ads. Massive viral upside for brands. This is kind of like, you know, your Nano Banana Pro, your VO3, Sora, all of these things where we can turn images or we can turn videos into these AI generated things, which can save businesses a lot of money, especially in the e-com space where you're making product photos. And for us, we can turn them into thousands of product photos and guarantee to any e-com brand that we're going to find at least one viral ad that's going to make them hundreds of thousands. So let's get straight into exactly what I'm talking about. Firstly, let's come over here to section 1, which is the voice AI section I was talking about. And this is what I call the voice AI land grab. It's a massive, I cannot stress this enough, massive opportunity for 2026 that absolutely nobody has been able to master. There is really nobody in the space where it's like, okay, they're the voice AI guys, because realistically, not a lot of people have produced production ready voice agents that are now working live for customers. We've built these, we've put them live, and they're handling thousands of calls every single day, and it is extremely difficult to get this right. But with these new upgrades from Gemini and from Grok with the real-time speech-to-speech models, it's making it a lot easier and it's making it more realistic to have these in a production environment. So the old systems that we had in 2024 was this kind of system over here, as you can see, where a person speaks, and this is called the speech to text model. And this is where a person speaks, the AI turns whatever that person said on the call, the AI will turn that into text, so it's called speech to text. That takes about 1 second, which is a long time in the world of phone calls and AI responding back to you. That's why if you've ever tested voice AI, you can kind of tell it's voice AI immediately because of how slow it is to respond. So this is what the old system was in 2024, where a person would speak, we would turn whatever they said into text. That's speech to text. It would take about 1 second. Then we would have the AI generate the answer to whatever text it has outputted over here. And then whatever answer the AI outputted, we would need to turn that text to speech and send it back over to the person over here. So that's speech to text. Take whatever the person said, process it with AI, and then turn that text into speech and send it back over to the person. The total delay from these, it's typically around 2 to 3 seconds, especially in production environments where we need the smarter models, the smarter AI, which take longer to think. We need smarter models because obviously we're working with real humans. We don't want very quick, stupid models that are going to maybe turn away customers or leads. So we need the smart models, which typically takes 2 to 3 seconds to respond. This feels robotic, as we've all probably been attest to, and it also creates these awkward responses, these awkward pauses as the AI tries to come up with answers. Now, the new systems that have just been released and are coming into 2026 is called real-time voice, and this is where the person speaks, and the real-time API, like Grok or Gemini, the latest releases from them, is turning all of this, doing this full process simultaneously. So it's doing all of this, as you can see over here at once. Speech, it's turning the speech to text. The AI is generating the answers. The text to speech is all happening at once, which turns delay time into about less than 500 milliseconds, which feels human. This is typically what a real human call would have, is less than 500 milliseconds response time, and this is where we start to see the real human natural conversations, which is completely changing the world of voice AI. Now, these real-time models have been out for a while, but they've been just way too expensive to realistically use in a production environment. Now they're getting a lot cheaper, especially with Grok's latest release, which came out maybe a few days ago. It's turning this whole voice AI into a very, very lucrative space. We also have speech-to-speech models, which basically skips this full process, and instead of turning the speech to text and then the text back to speech, it just takes in what a human says, processes the response, and sends it back. We don't need to do all of this changing into text and changing the text back into speech. We'll just do all of that and process it as just one speech. It's able to understand speech, emotions, etc. And that's really where this industry is going. So how would I get into this industry if I was starting over again? Well, I would look at these target industries which have the biggest opportunity. Firstly, we have real estate. Now, why real estate? It's because the problem is most real estate agents miss about 50% of calls. Any call that they miss is potentially $5,000 missed, because real estate agents get a commission of about $5,000 to $6,000 for every property that they sell. So if they miss a lead that was a potential buyer or a seller of a property, then they've just missed $5,000. So the solution to this is an AI that books showings, that answers a call, even just out of hours it's able to answer the calls, and this will make it so the real estate agent never misses a call. Similarly, over here we have dental practices where the staff is typically overwhelmed. We also have a loss of about $800 per missed appointment. Solution is again AI books instantly. We have HVAC and home services, where problem can typically be where the techs can't answer the call, so the people that are actually doing the HVAC are typically out doing jobs, so they can't answer the phone all the time. Any lost job there is about 2,000 lost per emergency, and the solution is an AI that dispatches urgent calls. We have also gym and fitness, where the phone rings unanswered, lost maybe $150 per membership. Solution is AI that answers the phone for them. Law firms, problem paralegals cost $40,000 a year. Paralegals are the ones in law firms that answer the calls. They're kind of like your junior legals. We also have, and any lost call here is maybe a 10k per consultation. Solution is an AI that screens cases 24/7. We also have restaurants over here. Staff juggle calls, orders. We've probably all experienced this, where you've called a restaurant and maybe no answer for the first 10 minutes. The loss here is maybe a $50 per takeout, and then the solution is an AI that takes orders instantly. So how do you price this when you're selling this to people? Well, the setup is typically what we would say is about $2,000 to $5,000, depending on your customer. So like for a restaurant or for a HVAC or for dental practices, we would typically do this $2,000 to $5,000 one-time setup fee, and then a monthly fee of $500 plus 0.10 per minute. So $500 is kind of like your maintenance fee, how much you're going to charge them per maintenance, and then the 0.10 per minute, this is what we are going to use to cover your AI costs of running this AI agent. If we jump over here to Vapi, over here on Vapi, when we build a voice agent, it's typically going to bill us per minute that this call is live. So if we're getting maybe 15 calls a day and they all last maybe 10 minutes, then we're going to do 10 minutes by whatever Vapi is charging us. Most of the time Vapi will be in and around of maybe 5 cents per minute, so we're just going to mark up that price and charge a customer for that. So maybe you can mark it up to 15 cents, 20 cents per minute, and then we're going to charge a customer on that. That's how we are going to create our pricing model. Let's say, for example, over here, a customer is using 600 minutes a month. The cost is going to be $560 total. Your cost is going to be about $50 to Vapi, and your profit over here is about $510, which is a 91% profit margin, which is extremely good. Now, the upside isn't just for you. The client is also going to save a lot of money. A receptionist is about $3,000 a month. Any missed appointments is also maybe $3,200 a month. So their total savings is about $6,200 a month, because all they're paying is this price over here rather than a receptionist, and also the missed calls when the receptionist has maybe holidays or after hours when the receptionist is not working. All of them are going to be missed opportunities. So they're going to pay you $560, and their ROI is going to be about 1,000%. So if you present this to the client like this, then it's really a no-brainer for them. That's the voice AI approach that I would use as we're coming into this new year, because it is really getting extremely good to the point where it's hard to determine if this is a human or a robot, which was the biggest bottleneck in 2024 and 2025, was building these voice agents that sound real and are also predictable enough to be able to use in production with real leads. Now, section 2 over here is your micro SaaS agencies, and this is kind of the main thing that we do at the moment. We build these NA10 workflows, which is a problem for the client. We'll typically build the solution for that problem, and then we'll deploy that NA10 workflow or whatever workflow we build. And the biggest fear for clients is typically not being able to see exactly what the AI is doing. So that's the problem that we're addressing in this stage here. So the real problem, as you can see over here, is business owners fear the AI is working in the background, but they can't see what it's doing, they can't control when it acts, and they can't verify that it's working. What if it makes a mistake, and so on. Your solution is building this SaaS on Lovable, or just a dashboard that they can see what the workflow is doing, and then they can say, I can log in every morning, see exactly what happened, 23 leads received, 12 qualified by AI, 3 waiting for my review. I'm in control. I can stop it at any time. This is a massive part of our agency, and when we first started out, we did not do this. We simply just sold these workflows. When we implemented this, it increased the value of our workflows tenfold. We were able to charge more. Client was a lot more happier because they could see exactly what was doing. And also what we found out about these workflows is in most cases you need a human in the loop, especially when you're working with real life data, when you're working with real life leads. Clients want to be in the loop. They don't just want an AI that's able to do everything completely autonomously, because one, AI does make mistakes. There's no ways around that. You can't build an AI that's not going to make mistakes. And two, they don't want to lose control of their business. They still want to be in control. They don't want to do the work, but they want to be in control. And that's why we've built in this human in the loop process. This human in the loop is critical for success. Take this example over here, scenario 1. The lead gets qualified. The AI decision is to approve. It auto books a consultation. Human involvement is 0. Then we have scenario 2 over here, where the lead is not qualified. The AI decision is to reject them, adds them to the nurture list. Human involvement is 0. Then we have scenario 3 over here, which would require the human in the loop section, which is very common in real life scenarios. We have this gray area where the lead is maybe qualified, the AI decision is not so certain, so the AI is going to flag this for human review. The human involvement maybe takes 30 seconds, and that is the critical part about building these workflows. Not every workflow you are going to be able to do stuff like this, where the AI can decide from start to finish exactly what is going to happen, especially when you're working with leads, when you're working with communication from leads. There is always going to be an edge case that you cannot prepare for, that you're going to need a human in the loop. Now, for things like maybe you're building reports, or you are processing stuff in the back end where there's no real leads involved, then go ahead, 100% you can do that without any human in the loop. You can build these workflows and they can be completely safe. In most workflows that I've seen that we're building for clients, a lot of it is handling leads, reaching out to leads. In these scenarios, you're going to need a human in the loop. Now, why does this matter? The client feels safe when they can override the AI's decision. AI learns from the human corrections over time. You can build this into the dashboard where the AI will be able to learn this. This also prevents costly mistakes, which is crucial. And how we build this is 80% of it runs automatically, and then 20% gets a quick human check. This is the secret to successful AI implementation. When the client is able to be in the loop, be in control, and you don't try and build systems where the AI will handle everything, because it is simply impossible. We've tried it, we've done it, we've failed hundreds of times. It's simply impossible to make an AI that smart that it's able to handle every edge case. Now, I say that in the context of when you're handling like leads. Let's say, for example, you build an AI that is handling emails for leads, or you build an AI that is on a receptionist, maybe on their a chatbot for the website, or even the scenario that we talked about before, like voice agents. When anything is interacting with leads, or anything is non-deterministic, where it's left to the AI to make the decisions, then a lot of the time you're going to need a human in the loop. But for example, let's say we're building an AI agent that is creating reports on how the staff is working on a monthly basis. For them, you can make them 100% non-human in the loop, where the AI just does it from start to finish. The reason being is because there is really no harm if it makes a small mistake. Like, we're not talking directly to leads. There's no risk of the AI maybe messing up the business reputation. It's all internal. So typically all of them internal only tools or internal workflows, they can be done without a human in the loop. Now, how does this work for the client? So you have your staff versus your AI system. The option A is they hire staff. Salary is about $3,500 a month. They also have to pay benefits to this client, which is maybe $500 a month. They have to train them, which can take a month or even 2 months in some cases. and the staff will only work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. Sick days, each staff has 10 days a year, and they can quit at any time. So they may spend 2 months training their staff and they can quit at any time. The total is about 4,000 a month. They have a turnover risk with that staff member, and the capacity is maybe 100 leads per month. Now, option B over here is we have our AI workflow, where the setup can be 2,000 one-time setup fee. We have a monthly fee of 500. Training is pre-configured so that we will train the AI for the company. This AI is going to work 24/7, 365, never sleeps, sick days, never, can't ever quit as long as your client is paying us. And the total is going to be about 500 per month. That is 87% cheaper than a staff member. Capacity is unlimited. It can handle unlimited clients a month for 80% cheaper than what they pay a staff member to handle 100 leads per month. This is a game changer for clients, and this is how we sell our AI workflows. Now, the build once, sell 50 times model is something that I also use when I'm building these AI workflows. Now the old agency model is where you trade your time for your money. So it can look something like this, where month one, Solar Co A comes in, they're looking for a custom solution. It's going to take us about 40 hours to build it, and then we charge them 4,000 for that build. Now, month two, Solar Co B comes in, it's another custom solution, 40 hours, we charge them 4K. And then month three, Solar Co C comes in, custom solution, 40 hours, charge 4,000. You're trapped in this trading time for money, and this never ends. You will never be able to scale at this stage because there's only so many hours in the day. You're trading your hours for money, meaning the max you can make is the amount of hours which is in the day. It's not scalable. You can't add more hours to the day, so there's only a certain amount of money you can make a day. Now, the micro SaaS model is where the scale of our product equals the money. So we spend maybe 1 to 2 weeks building the template. Takes us a total of 30 hours. Maybe let's say we build an AI email agent for real estate agents. Month one, we onboard 5 companies. Takes about 10 hours. That's 2 hours each. Setup is 10,000, and the monthly recurrent is 2,500 per month. And now we hit months 3 to 6, where we scale to 50 companies that we have on our AI email agent. Setup revenue for 50 companies is about 100k, and our monthly recurring revenue is about 25k per month. You're now a software founder. You're not trading your time for money like this one over here. You've instead built a workflow once, as we've done up here. Build a template, and we onboard 5 companies. Maybe takes 2 hours each to onboard them rather than the 40 hours over here. And we just keep onboarding people onto that one workflow that is working for them. Obviously, we may have to add some custom things into the prompts, etc., which is where this 2 hours of onboarding comes in. But at the end, you can see over here, we are now charging them a setup fee of about 10,000, and we are getting a monthly recurring revenue off them. And as we come down here, you can see we're constantly stacking up people onto that workflow and now turning it into a mini SaaS. That's kind of our framework for the micro SaaS agencies. It's been working extremely well. As I mentioned at the start of this video, we've hit 100k per month. So obviously it's working. There's not a lot of people in the space that are doing this. There's not really a lot of people that I watch on YouTube that actually run an AI agency. A lot of them are typically just YouTubers telling you what to do. A lot of them don't run agencies. So a little side note is just be careful who you take your information from. If the guy is on YouTube every day posting content and doesn't run an agency, then I don't know, maybe don't take too much information from them. I don't like how would they know how an AI agency works if they're not really in the arena. But anyways, let's move on to section 3, which is infinite media, and this is the AI powered workflow where we can use for e-com brands. And this is where we take advantage of stuff like Nano Banana, VO3, Sora, all of the AI image generation and video generation models. Now, typically a workflow can look something like this, where we take one input, which is like a product image. Step 1 is to create a bunch of backgrounds and variations of this image, maybe 50 different scenes. Step 2 is to create video variations, 150 different video clips. And step 3 is to create an AI avatar, have a script ready for them, and we have 50 different spokespersons for these ads. Now, the total output is about 450 unique ad assets. Time is about 2 days. Cost is maybe 200 in API credits. And the traditional method for this is about 3 weeks and $4,800 for any e-com brand to create this amount of ad asset. Now, to explain a little bit more about what an ad asset is if we come over here to Facebook ad library And if we literally look up any e-com brand, any clothing brand in general, they will have thousands of ads on this. So for example, let's look up all around the world, and maybe let's add a category, all ads. And if we look up maybe a brand like this, which is an e-com brand, it's called Icon Amsterdam. If we jump in here, you can see they now have 420 live ads, and they probably charge somebody, or they probably paid thousands of dollars for these ads, or for people to create these ads. Like this one here, if we click in here, you can see it's basically a person wearing their product. There's hundreds of these ads. You can see more videos, loads of videos of people, even images here. All of these videos could be generated by AI and save this company thousands upon thousands of dollars each month. This probably cost them, for 400 different videos, cost them probably in the range of 15 to 20,000 just to create all of these ads. And what we're talking about is having AI just do that for them. So you can see over here, this is the workflow that we would follow to have the AI do that for them. And you can see we would be able to do this in a matter of days with very low API credits using these tools over here, like Midjourney, Flux for images. We have Sora and Runway for the videos, and we also have HeyGen and 11 Labs to create them AI avatars to do the videos with. All of this can be done directly from your laptop. You're generating all of these assets for them. There's no photo shoots needed for this. Now, why does this win? Well, it's because the quantity that we're able to do and the testing strategy that this brand can now do. Now, typically brands will do this, where they do this testing strategy of just making a bunch of ads, like I've just showed you with that company. They've had 400 ads posted. They're going to test all of them to see which one wins, basically which one has the highest click-through rate, how many people clicked on a specific ad. They'll pick the highest one of how many people have watched the video like we just did, and they'll typically choose that as the winner to run like a lot of money into them ads, or pay a lot of money to Facebook to keep the ad running. Now, typically what they'll do is they'll come over here, they'll test 450 ads, maybe cost them about $50 each per ad, and that's about 22,000 that they've spent on all of these ads. Out of all of them 450 ads, maybe 400 of them ads fail, where they get a really low click-through rate, which is basically how many people watch the video. In that range of about 0.3 to 0.9%, that would be considered a failure. We have maybe 4 ads that are okay, which have a 1 to 1.5% click-through. We have 9 ads which are, good. They have this amount of click-through rate. And then we have 1 ad which is viral, which gets maybe 8 to 8.5% click-through rate, which is 850% better than the rest of these ads. Now, they had no idea which combo would work. They found it by testing everything, like running all 450 of them ads, and they get one viral ad which maybe makes them 100,000 in sales based on the amount of people that clicked through that, went to a cart, ordered and purchased their item. Now, your pricing as a creative testing agency or somebody that is generating all of these ad assets, it's going to be a lot less because you're using AI. It's also going to be a lot quicker because you can generate thousands of these in seconds, even minutes. Your setup for them can be a 3,000 one-time fee. Monthly payment to you can be about 5,000 to deliver 500 new ad assets. Even can be higher than this depending on how many ad assets they want. The cost for you to actually do this is going to cost you maybe $280 a month for all of the AI tools, and your profit is going to be about $4,000 per month just for one client. That's a 94% profit margin, again, which is massive for any business. Having a 94% profit margin is extremely good. The client wins because they never run out of content, finds winning combos in a lot cheaper than what they would have usually spent, which is 22,000 up here. They've now paid you 5,000 a month, which is a lot less than that. And the reality for you is it's a very low effort thing that you would do, and it's a very high perceived value for them. So for you, maybe you're just writing a couple of prompts, generating a couple of images and videos all automatically. And for them, they get a very, very high perceived value for this product, which is why we can charge them that amount of money. So they are the 3 things that I would get into in the AI agency space for 2026. Now, there is a crucial part of this. There is a 12-month window on this, and I've seen this from 2024 to 2025. A lot of things have now become oversaturated, and big companies like Google are sweeping all of the opportunities up. So you can see over here right now, tools are powerful like Grok, Gemini, Sora, but the competition is extremely low. You can be the expert in the space who brings it to businesses. So like the ad assets or the voice AI. You can be the expert that brings it to businesses, because right now there is barely anybody that is doing this. In 12 months, everybody is going to be able to offer these services. The margins will compress and you'll compete on price. So if you're getting into this in 12 months time, then you're no longer the expert and you have to charge like everybody else, try and undercut everybody, and you're now competing on prices. And that $5,000 that you would charge for all of them ad assets goes down to maybe $800. When you're the expert, you get to charge more. So if I were you, I'd pick one of these lanes, go all in and don't look back. That would be my 12-month plan. For us, I know we are definitely going all in on this voice AI, along with the SaaS that we are currently running and the N8N workflows, which we have created a really nice dashboard for. I can quickly show you over here if I run over to the dash. So this is like a demo where the AI agent will answer all of the questions in their email, and you can see the client is able to see all of the questions that the AI is answering. Also, it can pick up calls where they would see all of the calls here, transcript of the calls. It can also answer WhatsApp messages, so handle everything for the client. You can see here all of the WhatsApp messages from the AI. The client can put in all of the properties that they want the AI to answer and the leads that the AI has picked up on. So you're seeing this is all just basically one N8N workflow, except we've made it really usable for the client and made it a higher perceived value, so now they pay us more for the service. So that's what I would do in 2026. We are currently doing it. We make over 100k per month. If you want to get into this space, if you want to learn from me how I got to this position, click the first link in the description where I teach people how I run my AI agency and how you can start your own one.